Well, greetings everyone. Welcome to this week's Monty Man's Meditorial, which I've entitled Following the Directions or Following the Fellowship. In the original manuscript of the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, Chapter 5, entitled How It Works, it states, "Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our directions. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program." Well, notice it doesn't state that they will not give themselves to the fellowship. In many of today's 12-step support meetings, what is being taught in the fellowship falls far short of the directions that are in the AA's basic text. It appears that for many of us, it is much easier to follow a watered-down, compromised set of directions than it is to adhere to what the literature was intended for, to show us our need for God, and to help us recover from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. In my own selfish, self-centered ways, I find it much more convenient to simply follow the herd, to do just enough to get by so I can feed my ego, and I thus lie to myself, convincing Monty that I am working a program of recovery when all I am really doing is following a fellowship. Following directions thoroughly, as stated in the text, requires 110% commitment on my part to comply with those directions, regardless of the easier, softer way the rest of the herd may be navigating. In order for me to truly recover, what is required of me is to follow a few simple instructions, of which many in the fellowship refer to as suggestions. What in the world makes me think that because these are suggestions, I can cherry pick what I like and leave the rest? One of the most effective lies spoken to me in early recovery from the enemy of my soul has come through some well-meaning fellowship members when I began to oppose those simple instructions found in the literature. "Take what you need and leave the rest," they shouted. "Eat the meat and spit out the bones," they said. Can I be blunt here? When I was new to the recovery process, I didn't have a clue what I needed. I no more could tell the meat from the bones than I could tell the truth. What I needed to do was thoroughly follow the directions outlined in the literature and follow them without compromise. Today, I am forever grateful to a man who came alongside me and showed me what those directions were. He was my first sponsor. He didn't mince words. He spoke the truth in love, but with a firmness that caused me to sit up and take notice. After all, this was either going to save my life or I was going to die. So today, when I take someone through the recovery process, I absolutely insist that they commit to this simple program, not to follow a group of powerless alcoholics or addicts. After all, if I'm powerless and you're powerless, then 0 plus 0 equals 0. What we need is a power greater than you or I to do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. I came to a relationship with that power through applying and implementing the 12 steps. I had to do the work. I had to follow the directions, not the fellowship. Well, until next meditorial, this is the Monty Man, and I am wishing God's perfect serenity for you.